What's up, guys? Purple Lotus coming at you. Today is Sunday and it is cold, and I'm coming to you from Clark County in Washington State. It's about, or in Vancouver, probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes over the bridge to Portland, Oregon, big city Portland. So I wanted to make this video mainly because I can't be cooped up in that house with all these teens playing Fortnite for hours and hours and hours on end, driving me nuts. Can't even go on the laptop to do any kind of research, get some peace and quiet. But anyway, I wanted to make this little video. I noticed in this camera I'm looking kind of scruffy because it's cold. Haven't been rolling, haven't been training. Got a few runs in early in the morning. It's nice and cold, but yeah, I wanted to make this video into saying, who is Purple Lotus? Why is my name Purple Lotus? As if anybody besides nobody was wondering. The lotus flower means all kinds of different things into different cultures. The red can mean something, the white can mean something. The purple was meaning rebirth from some of the research that I did. And I was always kind of infatuated with the lotus flower from when I traveled to India a few times. You see lotus flowers everywhere on dinner menus in restaurants, or just like t-shirts or things you can buy at shops and things like that. The lotus flower, in Thailand, in India, Southeast Asia, places like that. And so when I started to do these little YouTube videos in my phone, I'm a late bloomer. I'm yet to get a good 4K camera, which I'm getting very, very soon. By the way, life happens, bills happens, things are not cheap nowadays. Things are expensive, especially when you got obligations. Everybody's got bills, whatnot. But yeah, I'm a late bloomer as far as YouTubing. I see how far YouTube videos go and how much people get paid and traveling and things like that, YouTubing. So the Purple Lotus meaning rebirth, I decided to take on that name, take on that moniker. Some of my Indian friends call me, what do you call Purple Lotus? Purple Lotus. Hello, Roshan, if you're listening out there in Delhi. I know you're gonna see the video. Anyway, Roshan out in Delhi, and Arun out in BJJ, India. Check it out if you're ever in Delhi. Binish, check it out. So when I got into the Indian culture probably about 5 years ago, I started to sponsor children in a partnership with an agency. Those Feed the Children commercials you see, just $1 a day will change the lives of, which, little that it literally does change the life of a lot of people. I'm not going to name the agency because there's a lot of different ones you can go to. You can Google sponsoring a child. Different agencies work with different places. Some focus on Asia, some focus on Europe, some are in the United States, some you can even do locally wherever you live. You can do, if you ever want to go that route as far as doing charity work, or if you're passionate about that, that's also really good. Yeah, started sponsoring children. So making the monthly contribution of whatever it is for 6 months to a year, or get random letters the children would send, and progress reports, things like that, of where your money's going, what is it helping your child to overcome, what barrier is it helping to remove in their life to make it they can break the cycle of poverty. And I got these brochures in the mail that would say, have you ever thought about visiting your child? So I was like, hey, wow, kind of sparked the idea. And I read it and I saw it. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. They had some info who you could call if you had went down that avenue of trying to visit your sponsored child. So I called them. They gave me a brief rundown of what it would be like, what you would have to do, what you would have to prepare for, go through as far as immunizations and passports and visas and things like that, paperwork that you needed to sign and read and sign and things like that. I went through a local travel agency because I was unsure of international travel. I've never traveled international besides going to Mexico, but we just walked over the border from California. So then that's not really, no, it doesn't really count, I guess. But yeah, so I entertained that idea, did a tour of the Taj Mahal, things like that, and went to visit him and her. We have 2 sponsored children. One is in Calcutta and one is in Delhi, in the outskirts of Delhi. Both. One is 9 and one is 12. I think he's gonna be 12 or she's gonna be 12. I'm not too sure. I have it written down. Well, yeah. So one of them's birthday's coming up in January. So we entertained that idea, flew out there, did a little tour, did the tourist part, got into partnership with the agency, ended up checking out the agency. They picked us up, we coordinated a visit, went to the child's village, very, very rural, very impoverished village, changed my whole life. I then became obsessed with India. I became obsessed with the culture, as I already almost was, but when I saw it firsthand, of, you know, big city, 10 million, 15 million people, to going out to these villages of extreme poverty, more than you would see in the US, in my opinion. I know it can get pretty bad in big cities, or, you know, in huge cities and things like that. I know poverty is no joke, no matter what it is, you know, no matter where it is. Poverty is poverty, but it can get worse and it can get inhumane, and there's a lot of places where the government is not gonna come out to help you, and they're not gonna give you resources. And, you know, a lot of these places are in India, and a lot of these places are in, you know, Southeast Asia, and, you know, around in that area. So by seeing that, I became obsessed with India. I became obsessed with the culture. I became obsessed with the Bengalis and the children in Delhi, street children in particular. And I flooded my mind. I went on the internet and just read about anything that I could, and anything that I could find about culture, about traditions, about street children, about rag picking, about human trafficking, and about statistics, railway children, caste system, Hindi language, food, historic places, British rule, history, things like that, associated anything to do with India. So last year, what I did was I ended up getting in partnership with a large NGO in Delhi and doing an internship working with human trafficking victims at a children's home. And furthermore, it blew me away from what people and children have to go through, and how, you know, the laws are much different, and the system is much different than America, with, you know, child welfare, CPS in America versus child welfare committee in India, and just the culture surrounding, you know, the Muslim and the Hindu traditions, and about child labor. The views of them are very different. The respect for women is very different. The respect for women is very low. There's no equal opportunity. It's very, very, very different. And you see how it would trickle. I mean, the impact is much more different than it does in America. I mean, in a lot of cities, because of the culture and because of the religion, and the poverty. And I've seen that interning for 6 weeks at this NGO, and it just blew me away, and my heart will never be the same. So in return, you know, free collaboration with that visit and these people from this NGO, I am trying to start a non-profit in the future, in regards to meal distribution for children, well, you know, homeless and rural, or seniors, disabled in rural areas. And also I'm going to be interning once again with this agency out in Delhi. And that's where I got Purple Lotus from, and that's where I see these videos. I make these videos, and I'm going to intern once again, and I'm going to intern for the rest of my life. Or I'm going to intern there every year for the rest of my life, and get into collaboration with different agencies in Calcutta, in Delhi, in Udaipur, in Mumbai, in all these other places, in Bangalore, in Tamil Nadu. Shanti Bhavan in Tamil Nadu has feeder NGOs that are associated with the same for women and girls and children and street children and things like that, and my heart will never be the same. I read a quote once that said the two most important days of your life was the day you were born and the day you found out why. And I think that was by Mark Twain. And I read another quote recently that kind of blew me away. It says, travel leaves us speechless and turns us into a storyteller. Then turns us into a storyteller or something like that. And it's amazing. And I'm going to dedicate my life to children of India, human trafficking awareness, ending child labor, fair trade, poverty, ending poverty, even in a small scale. If 1,000 people do their part, or more people do just a little bit of a part, it's always better than nobody doing nothing. If you do it, if you play your part, don't worry about everybody else's part, play your part. And I'm gonna do it, and I know what's my purpose. And I want to go and travel and make videos like I see these other guys at Carl Rock, Bald and Bankrupt, Girl Traveler, Gotta Do India, Mark Wiens, all these guys that do these in India. I want to do the same, and I'm going to do the same. And I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel. It's not a sales pitch or nothing like that, to raise awareness so you can see for yourself if it touches your heart, and you can pay it forward to somebody else, because that's what it's about to me. It's not about views, in this day and age, it kind of is in a way. Depends what you want to get out of the views. I want to get awareness out of the views. I just don't want to make money because, money is what you need, but money is not everything. Playing your part and doing what you have to do is very important and can be everything. So support me, leave a comment in the box, in the reply comment box, if you got anything to say, negative or positive. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and everybody is entitled to say what you want to say. You have your own beliefs. I frown down on no one's beliefs. I respect all cultures, and that's why they call me Purple Lotus, and that's my story. And I will be back in India in the next few months with some upgrade equipment. And I'm going to be reintroducing a new revamped version of my podcast channel that I had way back in collaboration with a jiu-jitsu buddy of mine. And if you're ever in Delhi and you want to train jiu-jitsu, go to BJJ India, call our brother Arun. He's an instructor, great place. And look up these things to give back to street children, to whatever touches your heart. You always have to give, especially you come from where we come from and we have opportunity. There's always somebody out there that's got it worse and got it way worse, and a lot of them are children in these third world countries, and the government doesn't help them, and they don't have the resources, and we do. It's pennies on the dollar for us. I'm not saying you have to go over there and change your life and drop everything and sell everything and fly to India and follow your heart, because that's what is my passion, and that's what my calling is for. To work with street children in the slums of India, and to work with street children in Delhi, in Calcutta, anywhere in India is my calling, is my passion. So I just wanted to leave you guys. It's 14 minutes coming off on 15. I was hoping to stay under 10, but whop your jaws, they say in Hawaii. So I'm out here in my son's little backyard thing out here in Washington, freezing my okole off, and that's why I get the name Purple Lotus. I gave it to myself. Drop me a comment, support me, subscribe to the cause. Let me know what your cause is. I support everybody's cause. So that's it. Jai Hind, and I'll see you guys later. Purple Lotus out.